Today we will discuss mainly about mechanics of respiration. Under that we will discuss about muscles of respiration. So the specific learning objectives for today's class is we'll enumerate and discuss about the muscles of respiration, especially the inspiratory muscles. So we already know what is respiration. What is inspiration? Air entering your lungs from outside atmosphere. And what is expiration? Exit of air from your lungs to outside into outside atmosphere. So what are the muscles of inspiration, especially during there are two types you can say. One is tidal inspiration, that is quiet inspiration when it is happening, when you are at rest, when you are doing day-to-day activities. So they are mainly diaphragm and external intercostal muscles. But sometimes when you exercise, you need increase in breathing, increase in volume of air entering your lungs. Then comes into play your accessory muscles of inspiration. These don't work in normal conditions. During quiet inspiration, you can say quiet inspiration. Rather than quiet inspiration, use tidal inspiration. What are the muscles of expiration? As such, for expiration, we don't need any extra muscles working. Why? When lungs are expanded, for expansion of lungs, you need increase in space in thoracic cavity. That is the main motto for your working of your inspiratory muscles. They increase the diameters of the rib cage, thoracic cavity. Therefore, they allow the expansion of lungs. That occurs by various pressure changes. Okay, the expansion of lung occurs because of various pressure changes, and entry of air into lungs, filling of lungs occurs because of various pressure changes. But once lungs are inflated fully with air and inspiration stops, lungs are highly elastic. They have massive recoil energy. So the expiration, the returning to normal of lung tissue from this stretched point is like balloon leaving air. You don't need extra force to compress the balloon to leave air from its mouth. Simply once you inflate balloon and you open the mouth, it will become normal. It will deflate on itself because of the elastic recoil. That is how normal expiration occurs in your body. But in conditions like exercise, you need forced expiration during severely when we are breathing heavily. So for that, the muscles acting are mainly your internal intercostal muscles and abdominal muscles. So diaphragm, the major inspiratory muscle, 75% of your inspiration occurs because of the contraction of diaphragm. We know diaphragm separates your thoracic cavity contents from your abdominal contents. Thoracic cavity contents and abdominal contents. Not only that, it is a major muscle of inspiration. So when diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle, okay, it is made up of group of muscles, phrenic muscles, and it is supplied by phrenic nerve that originates from C3 to C5 cervical vertebrae. So once this diaphragm in the relaxed state, it is dome state, contracts, it becomes flattened, pushing the abdominal contents downwards. Okay, we will see that in next slide. So it pushes the abdominal content downwards, increasing the vertical diameter space in the thoracic cage, rostrocaudal or vertical diameter in your rib cage. It also increases the transverse diameter because it is attached to the all lower ribs. When the dome becomes flattened, this pushes the lower ribs outwards in all the three dimensions, in front, sides, and towards back. This pushes the lower ribs outside, thereby increasing the anterior-posterior and also the transverse diameters. So normally during normal quiet inspiration, how much the diaphragm moves downwards is around 1 to 2 centimeters. During forced inspiration, it can go up to 8 centimeters down. So when it moves down, it allows the lungs in ribcage to expand, especially in the vertical diameter. What about external intercostal muscles? There are external intercostal muscles attached to your ribcage. So if you remove your pectoralis major, minor, you have external intercostal muscles. What they do is they pull your ribs upwards. During inspiration, they pull your ribs upwards. All the ribs, all external intercostal muscles, when they contract, they pull the ribs upwards. Mainly, they increase the transverse diameter of the rib cage. There are two movements when this lower rib is going to upper rib, when the external intercostals contract. We call it as bucket handle movement. At the same time, when the upper ribs external intercostals contract, they lift these ribs. Along with that, they lift the sternum outside. They lift the sternum outside. This is known as pump handle movement, like your hand pump. So this is your diaphragm, the major inspiratory muscle. You can see the diaphragm attached to your lower ribs. The diaphragm is attached to your lower ribs. So this is a dome-shaped muscle. This is a dome-shaped muscle. Okay, it separates abdominal content from your lungs. So when this diaphragm contracts, it pushes the abdominal contents downwards. Okay, we will see the external intercostal muscles. You can see the external intercostal muscles. The origin is from the lower border of upper rib. They go forward, downward towards the upper border of the lower rib. So let's say this is the third left intercostal. Okay, third left intercostal. It is originating from the lower border of the left third rib, and it is inserting into the upper border of the left fourth rib. How they are coming? Forward and downward direction. Forward and downward direction. Okay, they are extended from here almost 2 inches away from the sternum towards the back. So near the joint between, okay, mostly the external intercostal muscles here towards the sternum, they continue as external intercostal membrane. That does not have any contraction ability. It continues as a connective tissue membrane. So like hands in your pocket, the direction when you keep your hands in your pocket, it is like that. To remember, forward and downward direction. If we remove this external intercostals, then inside we have internal intercostal muscle. Internal intercostal muscle. They are like upward and backward. They are like upward and backward. Okay, it's like hands when you keep on your chest. If you keep your hands on your chest, then it will be like upwards and backwards. So they are also extended like this. This does not actually help in normal expiration, only during forceful expiration. Now below that there are innermost internal intercostal. They are also oriented forward, downward, sorry, upward and backwards. Upward and backwards. Innermost intercostals, they are also going upward and backward. So external intercostal muscles are coming forward and downward, and other inner intercostals, they are going, internal intercostals, they are going upward and backward. So they have opposite action, opposite mechanism of action. So what is happening? So diaphragm is contracting, it is pushing the abdominal contents downwards. At the same time, if you see, it is pushing the lower ribs outwards, pushing the lower rib outward. So it is allowing the thoracic cavity. It is giving space for lungs to expand, especially in your vertical diameter. At the same time, in the anterior-posterior diameter. So we'll see better here like this. So they are allowing the ribs to expand. This is the transverse diameter of your rib cage, transverse diameter. When diaphragm is contracting, it is pushing ribs outwards. It allows the transverse diameter to increase. At the same time, from the vertebra to the sternum, this is anterior-posterior diameter. And this is vertical diameter. All these three diameters, it is allowing the lungs to expand by pushing the abdominal contents down and the ribs outwards. Similarly, external intercostals, okay, we discuss there forward and downward. They are forward and downward. So this is resting position. They are forward and downward. They always contract from the point of insertion towards point of origin, like any other muscle. Point of insertion to point of origin. Like this. From this direction to this direction. From here to here. Like this. From here to here. Here to here. So when they are contracting, because the ribs are hinged anteriorly and they are hinged posteriorly, they have only one way to move. One way to move. When the external intercostal contract from here to here, they move the lower rib towards the upper rib, lower rib towards upper rib, lower rib towards upper rib. Similarly, like the handle of your bucket, what happens if you lift the handle of your bucket? What happens when you lift the handle of your bucket? So when they're like this downwards, when you lift the handle, it will go up. It will go up, increasing the transverse diameter, increasing the transverse diameter. So this is known as bucket handle movement. You can see when the contractional intercostal, the lower rib moves towards upper rib, lower rib, upper rib, lower rib moves towards upper rib. So increasing the transverse diameter, increasing the transverse diameter, allowing lungs to expand in transverse diameter. Now, what about sternum? Especially when the upper four ribs external intercostals are contracting. When the upper intercostals of the upper four ribs are contracting, what they are doing, carefully observe, they are pushing the sternum outside. They are pushing the sternum outside. Relaxed position, pushing the sternum outside. Relaxed position, pushing the sternum outside. So this will allow the lungs to expand in antero-posterior diameter. You can see there is increasing antero-posterior diameter. And also from here to here, you can see there is also increase in the vertical diameter. You can see how the sternum is moving. It is coming outside, coming outside. It is like someone is holding this like a pump handle and they are pulling it outside. So this is known as pump handle movement. Someone, water pumps in your villages, okay, they used to pump those handles, water will come out of that pump. Similarly, like that handle, someone is holding the sternum and they are pushing outside. So finally, diaphragm contraction pushes abdomen downwards, abdominal content downward, increasing vertical rostrocaudal diameter, pushing the ribs, lower ribs outside. It also increases the transverse diameter and also anteroposterior diameter, allowing the lungs to expand in all these diameter. Intercostal muscles will cause bucket handle movement, mainly increasing the transverse diameter. And also the upper intercostals will push the sternum outside, push the sternum outside. And they're actually lifting the ribs. Actually, when they're lifting the ribs, these upper ribs will push the sternum outside. And there is increase in anteroposterior diameter and also in the vertical diameter, especially anteriorly, allowing lungs to expand. This is the importance of your respiratory muscles. Importance of your respiratory muscles. So that's it. Go through your textbook, mechanics of breathing. Under that, mainly the muscles of respiration. Okay. Thank you.